Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the English debate of English Department A from University of HKBP Nomensen Medan. I'm Nana Soni Manihuruk as the chairperson and timekeeper in this debate. We are honored to have our lecturer Mercedes Dewi as the jury in this debate, and we are honored too to have all of you, my friends, for watching this debate. Now, I'll tell the rules in this debate. For all speakers, you just have 7 minutes or less to speak. The timekeeper will remind you if your time is 1 minute left. If your time is over, you must end up your arguments. You have wait the speaker finish the arguments to give your intro. Ladies and gentlemen, we have two teams here. The team is the government and the opposition team. The two teams will provide their respective arguments. The government team consists Vina Butar-Butar as the speaker 1, Melga Chapa as the speaker 2, Nana Soni Manihuruk as the speaker 3, and Susi Lumenggaol as the speaker 4. And in the opposition team consists of Anastasia Hutagalung as the speaker 1, Putri Manulang as the speaker 2, Hatsita Simbolon as the speaker 3, and Sylvia as the speaker 4. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I invite the first speaker of the government team to give their argument about the motion. So, time is yours.
I asked the first speaker will be talking about this household believes that cell phones is dangerous and brings harm. I believe that the use of the cell phones is bad for people's lives. So many bad effects of these cell phones for children and even adults. The bad influence is that children become addicted to the online games. Children become aware of social media even though they are not old enough to know about it, and there is no special protection for this problem. It is very damaging to the thinking and mental of the nation's future generation. In addition, for the family environment, cell phones addiction for families will lead to the stress family relationship. Time together with family will be reduced. Their participation will be diverted to the cell phones. For example, during families, gatherings, teenagers and even parents take to the play cell phones rather than talking with their family. So, I believe cell phones can be dangerous for human life, social life and family.
Thank you for the speaker 1. Now we shall hear the first speaker of opposition team to respond of the first speaker of government team and tell their argument. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you. But sorry, I disagree that cell phone users bring bad influence and harm to us. But on the contrary, cell phones are very useful for human life. In my opinion, cell phone can help us to do things remotely and online. For example, in a family, cell phones are useful for communicating with a family, friends, and others who are far away to ask about the situation or other needs. And as students, someone really need to support the learning process, looking for the material from various sources on the internet, because not everyone has a computer or laptop. So, cell phones are very helpful for developing insight about education that is abroad. And next, cell phone users who cannot regulate or restrict is what causes cell phones to endanger their own life and those others. Thank you.
Thank you for the first speaker. Now I give the time for the second speaker from the government team to respond and give the arguments of the first speaker from the opposition team. So, time is yours.
Okay. I think the use of cell phones are a bad influence and dangerous to us. So I didn't agree with your argument that saying cell phones can help us do things remotely or online. I do not agree with your argument because In fact, the existence of cell phones and that facilitate long distance communication can trigger gossip and hoax news, which make it vulnerable to quarrels and misunderstanding. Moreover, as we can see in this time, cell phones are not used by people who have already grown up, but almost every age have been already using cell phones. Negative ones for them, such as books, TikTok, and game. In fact, it will cause adverse health effects such as eye problem, um, neck pain, and dizziness. And another argument, you say that as a student, cell phone really need to support the learning process, looking for material from various search in the internet. But in fact, they tend to check their cell phone and cell phone in everywhere, so it make them tend and including in the road when they drive, so that cause them to lose their concentration and finally make an accident.
Thank you. Now, I give the time from the second speaker of the opposition team to give the response and arguments of the government team. So, time is yours.
If you are saying the mobile phone is harming the user, I think it's unfair because there are so many people out there who can use their phone responsible. An irresponsible user is someone who is not able to operate it properly because we know that it will never operate alone without someone operate it. And in this case of children at an early age who are allowed to use a cell phone is only natural. Current technological developments are inevitable, so that mobile phone can be found anywhere. Children at an early age can use a cell phone because it helps them concentrate, increasing their brain development. And however, it is important to control the children duration of the phone harness to prevent their children from become addicted to mobile phones. Parents can observe a children every move handphones looking for game they aim to harm children's brain in thinking, such as singing, counting, and reading. Likewise, in the case of car accidents, irresponsible users are guilty because they operate the cell phones at the wrong time. In response are very useful in life. For example, when drivers see road accidents, the other drivers can quickly call the police or an ambulance for help. So, immediately, the accident victim can be a cell phone. When you see the accident person, it will slow down the rescue of the victim. And a research initiated by the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety, an institution that focus on researching the safety of drivers on the road, has provided. However, they made sure that being too engrossed in interacting with cell phone was not the main factor in accidents. However, it happened because activities that distracted The concentration causes the accident to not focus while operating the fatigue. This meaning not only using cell phones but also doing other things such as makeup, combing hair, talking, use a headset can also cause harm.
Thank you for the second speaker from the opposition team. Okay, now we shall hear the third speaker from the government team to give the response and the arguments of the opposition team. So, time is yours. Thanks for the chance for giving me time to tell my arguments. This is not only in danger while driving. Other evidence of cell phone that can be deadly is cell phone disrupts their social life and family life. Currently, cell phone is the one who closest to the users. They prefer to interact with the phone rather than interact with the people around them. This causes them to be indifferent or antisocial. Good things such as greeting, smile, and ask the person that they meet had been lost in their social life. They move to the use of social media that can be accessed through mobile phones to interact so that it keeps them away from the people around them. In family life, they become too individualistic. There is nothing such as a family discussion, quality time with the family like eating together, having a chat with the family and other things that can strengthen family relationships. Even today at home, the whole family are busy with their own phones. And that what makes us agree that there needs to be a ban of the free use of cell phones. Thank you. Thank you. Now I give the time for the third speaker of the opposition time to give their response and their arguments of the government team. Time is yours.
Okay, thanks for the time. I think child punch use is good as long as we use it in a positive direction. We can use child punch anywhere and anytime, but we have to look the situation. And I don't agree with what are you saying. A good and harmonious social life in the family depends on personal and or uh, family qualities. People will not be indifferent if they still care about their environment. Child phones can help social relations between families by using these phones to interact with each other, and and it can be done anywhere and anytime. In family relationships, harmony can be achieved by paying more attention to other members of family. In this case, parents must supervise their children so they don't use the wrong child phones. And the next is prioritize family discussion. And by holding this family discussion, the ties or relationship between the families are still good. In this case, child phones can create harmony in the family in the family. For example, by using a cell phone, parents can find out or control the activities of their children by asking about the condition or situation of family members whenever and wherever they are. So the solution in that parents don't need to prohibit children from using cell phones. It's just that parents are required to keep supervising children so they don't use cell phones. The point is don't let the parents don't let the parents in the family neglect their responsibility to provide good education to the child or family. This is implemented so that there are no errors in using the child phones. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I give the time from the fourth speaker of the government team to give the response and the arguments of the opposition team, and they will give the conclusion of their arguments. Time is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for giving me time. I'm Susi as the first speaker of the government team. I will respond to the argument that Hosita gave as opposite team. Taking into account the significance of the argument we have already conveyed, we are still on the positive side of the cell phones are very dangerous for life. Here are the bad effects of using cell phones that we can summarize. 1. Adverse impact on the development of interpersonal skills. 2. Make children lazy to move. 3. Not good for eye health. 4. Online content that is too free. 5. Prevent children dependence on gadget device. 6. Less interaction between parents and children. And the conclusion we can draw on this topic as a government team is that we strongly support perhaps the use of cell phones freely because of the many negative impacts received by youth users. For this reason, we as millennials who have to understand the good and bad effect of using cell phones must be able to control ourselves, because the key to solving the problem of using cell phones lies in yourself. Many have become positive impact from using cell phones, but I emphasize once again that there are also many negative impact on users. For that, be wise in using cell phones. I think that's all our conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you for the first speaker from the government team. Now we shall hear the response and the arguments, and then the conclusion of the arguments of the opposition teams by the fourth speaker from this team. Time is yours.
Thank you for the time. I'm Sylvia Lestari Tosoit as the fourth speaker from opposition team. Based on the arguments which we have stated before, we are strongly disagree with the statement that said cell phone is very dangerous to human life. Cell phones still have many advantages if we can use it properly, carefully, and with responsibility. Here they are. First, cell phone can help us to communicate easily. We just need to text and call someone instead of approach or sending them a letter. Second, cell phone can stimulate children's creativity, help them to concentrate, and also foster their social development through instructive videos, drawing and singing applications, and playing complicated games, which encourage them to think critically and build a new strategy. Parents just need to control the duration. Third, cell phone cause accident in the highway is totally wrong. People who doesn't use it in the right time does, like doing makeup, wearing earphone, and grabbing wallet while driving. If an accident happens, if we bring phone, we can call the emergencies as soon as possible. Also, there is a GPS feature in phone which can help the driver to access the location that they didn't know before. 4. Phone can strengthen the family relationship because we can connect wherever and whenever we are. For example, making a group chat in WhatsApp.
Okay, thank you for the all arguments from the all speaker. Now, by this time, the debate is over. Thank you.